Hello everybody, this is ZZ1000ZZ bringing you another installment of my Solo Night Challenge run of Might Magic 6, the Mandate of Heaven. After the disaster that was the last session, I decided that for this one, we're going to try something a little bit easier and more relaxed. And that is killing a whole lot of stuff. Yep. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy, not aiming to complete quests, I'm just going to be killing lots and lots of enemies. Also, I'm planning on leveling up for the first time so far this run, and hopefully that will mean I will have a lot more health and be able to survive things much better. Right now I am killing a few of these guys, but I don't want to get too devoted to wiping them out, as there are a ton of enemies in that direction, and there's other areas I'd like to focus on clearing out first. But they are pretty close to these, well, not stairs, the pathway up to the castle, so I'd like to get rid of the ones that are nearby. As you can see, these guys are pretty easy. We killed all of these guys when we were in, Misty Islands. I believe that was in the last video. Actually, I guess the last video wasn't the one where I struggled, it was the one before that? I'm not sure, I can't remember just where the videos left off. Where is this archer that's shooting me? I'm just going to ignore him for now. The enemies that are shooting me are called lizard men, or lizard archers, or lizard mages, I think are the three possibilities. They are bowmen. They are one of the few ranged enemies, or ranged attacking enemies in the game that use physical damage. Most ranged enemies use magical damage. The fountains I drank from gave me 10 accuracy, 10 speed. The speed won't get me to another breakpoint, but the 10 accuracy actually does get me to a breakpoint, and thus I get a +1 bonus to my hit rolls from it. Right now I'm just looking over everything real quick before I go on a killing spree. You'll see what I mean in a minute, but I'm about to step on a teleporter that takes me into the danger zone. And saying that makes me wish I could play the, what was it, Kenny Rogers, I think? Who did the song Danger Zone. I think it was in classic 80s, might have been early 90s. I believe it was used in Top Gun, not 100%. Anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as I step on this. As you can see, there are a lot of enemies in this little area. Fortunately, there's also a fountain right there that heals you whenever you use it. It does, however, have a limited number of uses, so, whoa. It will eventually run out. I think it recharges every day. I'm not 100%. The main thing is to try to keep moving so that a good number of the ranged attacks will miss because you weren't where they fired at. Also, try not to move in a straight line too much, because if an enemy is behind you and you run straight away from it, you will still get hit, of course, because the ranged shot will be moving in the same direction you are. Whoa! Yeah, the big thing is to try to heal up regularly and not get bursted down before you can get back to the fountain to heal. Another obelisk. One thing to note is enemies in here are not, well, I shouldn't say they are finite. Actually, you may have just saw it on the screen. Okay, well, that was... 1 second, please. Okay. The fountain started saying refreshing, which meant it was out of charges, hence why I came back. But cool. You can see I don't actually have enough experience to reach level 10 yet, but I will in a moment when I complete a quest. And I still can't... I'm gonna keep ignoring that lizard man. Anyway, right now I need a little under 2,000 experience to get to level 10. My goal was to kill enough enemies so that I'd get to level 10. Of course, I don't have enough experience yet, but if you remember, we picked up, or we started the game off with a letter to the Mage Soulman, which our party had apparently looted from the guy's body or whatever after he got killed by goblins. We show the letter to Wilbur Humphrey, and we get a little reward. We get 5,000 gold, which I guess is more than a little. And he says thank you for bringing him the letters. There are actually, I think, 5 or 6 letters, and you could read the others, I believe, if you had the instruction manual. Not sure. In-game, there was only 1 letter. But yeah, he finds out they're traitors. Nothing that we didn't know, but we kind of see that Wilbur is freaking out and doesn't know what to do. He also mentions he wants someone to find Lord Kilburn. Lord Kilburn was, I believe, with King Roland? Oh no, wait. He was out in the area King Roland disappeared from before King Roland went there. If I remember my timeline correctly, what happened was Lord Kilburn went out to explore the meteor that landed. He disappeared, so then King Roland went out to investigate himself, got betrayed by his own man, and then got captured. Also, Wilbur is giving us a quest to rescue a damsel and return with her. If we do, he can promote us to Crusaders. That doesn't really matter for us because we are knights, not paladins. But it is a quest that can get us some experience, so we'll probably wind up doing it. I should probably be checking these peasants, see if any of them have jobs that we like. Scholar is a good one that I would... Whoa, is that 2 scholars? Huh, yeah, that is. I would want one, except I already have one, so I don't need a duplicate. Duplicate NPCs don't stack, at least the ones for percent bonuses. I don't know if... I don't think any of them stack except for the activated ones. Like ones who have an activated ability. I think you can have 2 of, and each one can activate their abilities separately. Just to save us a little gold, let's put 4 points into Merchant to get it up 1 rank. And now we're going to train to level 10. And now we have a bunch of skill points to use. 47 to be precise. Let's get Expert Learning, Expert Disarm Trap, Expert Bodybuilding. I can't remember if I can get Expert Repair Item in this town or not. I don't think so, but I'm not positive. Anyway, I believe all of those skills can be trained up to Expert in this town.
Greetings and salutations.
Expert Disarm.
Greetings and salutations.
Identification Expertise. Since we're using a Scholar right now, we don't need Expert Identification. Later on in the game, I will probably... No, I don't think it's up here that I want to go. Later on in the game, I think we'll go ahead and get Master Identification, just so we don't have to rely on a Scholar. And because we're going to have a ton of extra skill points, so It won't really be too hard. I believe expert learning is up here.
Greetings and salutations.
Yep.
Good show.
Between videos, I looked up the location of the various teachers. That's why I kind of know where they are. And bodybuilding is... was it this one?
Greetings and salutations.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And to show what I mean about hit points, we now have 145. I think before we trained and before we got expert bodybuilding, we only had like 80 or so. So, almost doubled in HP. That's good. What else did we want to train? Merchant, we can't get expert here, and we have to go to Freehaven. Dagger and bow. I can't remember where expert dagger is, but I know expert bow is downstairs.
Greetings and salutations.
Yeah, there's a lot of these buildings. Yeah, that was one we were already in. That's a temple, shop. Yeah, shop. Actually, I guess I should stop by that mage shop. No, wait, it doesn't open. Or wait, does it open at 8 or 10? I can't remember. The magic item shop, or whatever you want to call this place, opens at a different time than the armor and weapon shops. Bless. Electric resistance, endurance, cold resistance, speed. That's kind of decent. I might buy it, I don't know. It's pretty expensive, but I don't think we're too worried about gold. 5 endurance, 3 accuracy. Let's see what we have equipped. Right now, 3 spell points is useless, 3 cold resistance, and 6 personality, all useless. No, I think the hit points is a fine bonus, so we don't need that. But we will go ahead and buy that Ring of Endurance. Yeah, this one. And I don't know if we want to buy this Bless Potion or not. Sure, why not? Now, unfortunately, the artifact doesn't have, or not the artifact, the amulet doesn't have any bonuses. That would have been something I'd like, since I haven't found any of those yet. Sure, let's throw those over and give him endurance. Okay. I'm pretty sure I can learn expert bow or expert dagger somewhere in here, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go grab expert bow, and then I'm just going to go back to killing stuff. I don't really feel like visiting every single building looking for that dagger trainer. They're so cool.
Well, greetings and salutations.
Wow.
Good show.
And just because I'm here, well, check these people. Psychic, chimney sweep. Yeah, getting membership of the Mine Guild is kind of useless since I can't use my magic. But I figured I'd just do it because why not? Okay, no, it's only Saturday. On Sunday, I can go to a place called the Arena. But you can only reach it by that one. What is this place called? Coach or Stables? Royal Lines. Yeah, it doesn't actually... I don't know what to call it. I'll just call them Stables, I guess. Yeah, the Lizardmen are an interesting set of enemies because they're one of the few enemies in the game that actually make the shielding ability do anything. Shielding is a modification you can get on some items which causes all ranged damage to be cut by half, or cut in half. However, it only applies to ranged physical attacks, or rather, just ranged attacks. It doesn't count spells. And almost all ranged attacks in this game are actually spells, and thus aren't affected by it. As a result, shielding is a modifier that's pretty good against these lizard men and pretty much useless for the rest of the game. I think there is one other enemy that is affected by it, but I can't remember what it would be offhand. Up here is the seer. It's a person who can give you guidance on where you should go next. You can also talk to him to unlock the shrine for that month. Shrines are locations which, if you visit them on the correct month of the year, will give you a bonus to whatever stat they correspond to. Now, most of the time you have to come see the seer first, and he'll tell you which shrine is active for that month, and then you can go to the shrine and get the stat buff. However, for the first shrine you visit in the game, you don't actually need to see the seer first. I'm not sure if that's a bug or what. I could actually go to Bootleg Bay right now and visit the Shrine of Might and get plus 10 might. However, that shrine requires going over water, and since I don't have magic, I can't use the I can't use the water walk spell, which means I have to actually run through the water, and you take a ton of damage doing that. And I actually tested it out, and I was able to get to the shrine, but after I got to the shrine, I couldn't get back, so I would just have to die and respawn back in New Sorpigal. Yeah. See, hint. He suggests that you perform the promotion quest for the 6 Lords of Enroth until you have advanced a little further. This is January, the month of March. Journey to the Shrine of Might and pray there to be rewarded. I lost it. This is a cool one. If you ever get rid of a quest item you need, you can come see the seer, click on I lost it, and he'll give you whatever quest item you had found but gotten rid of. I never use that myself because I don't get rid of quest items very often. I often keep them past the point of usefulness, just because I like it. I can hear them, but I don't actually see them. They may not actually be able to hit me from where they are. Yeah, one problem with the lizardmen is they will run away from you while attacking, or run toward you. Their movement pattern is kind of weird. But they can wind up in weird places, including off the map. And if they wind up off the map, you can still kill them by shooting them, but you won't be able to run up to them to kill them in melee range. And more worryingly, if you do kill them with ranged attacks, their body will drop in a place you can't walk to. So unless you have a spell called telekinesis, you can't loot the bodies after they die. And that's kind of disappointing. You don't want to kill stuff if you can't get anything from it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting Expert Dagger, because Expert Dagger lets you wield a dagger in your offhand, the hand that would normally use, say, a shield. And it can increase your damage by a good amount. You can also do the same with a sword, but you have to have Master Sword as opposed to Expert Dagger. Yeah, the lizardmen, the lowest level of these guys, or lowest tier rather, are pretty easy to kill if you hit them. The higher tier ones can actually be kind of difficult to kill. They can take multiple hits, and they have enough armor that you may well miss them. But yeah. Okay. We need to heal up. And now, I think we should be able to go back through that teleporter. Whoa, there's another guy right there. Oh. I think we should be able to go back through that teleporter, and the fountain that we were using to heal over there should be ready to go again. Because when we trained a week past, are you anyone? Taylor, no. So I think it resets every day, but it should certainly reset after a week. I'm trying to check the NPCs because that was something I forgot about in the first few videos. And I'm still... can't remember what a clerk does. Not gonna beg, threaten, or bribe if I don't know what I'm getting from it. But I still have an empty NPC slot that I could be using to get more gold or experience or various other things. Yeah, I can hear the guy shooting at us, but doesn't seem to be hitting us, so I'm not gonna worry. Yeah. Notice our attack mod and shoot mod are both plus 16. Now they're both plus 17. That was because, as I mentioned before, plus 10 points to our accuracy gave us, or made us reach the next break point. And now we can kill some more enemies. I am going to stop by the fountain real quick just to make sure it is reset. Yeah, it is. Good. Yeah, and this time around we have a lot more HP, so we don't have to worry about healing quite as often. Because it'll be a lot harder for us to die before we can get back to it. Yeah, as you may, or you probably saw there, the enemies teleport in. They keep coming in waves like that. There is a limit. I don't know what the limit is, but after a while they'll stop spawning. Yeah, an NPC I'd kind of like to get is one that gives you more gold whenever you loot things, chests, or monsters. I'd like to get that one just because it will be complete profit, and you have to pay off the initial fee of hiring the guy. But once you do that, you just get extra money. That's all he'll do. The scholar that I'm using right now is nice because, of course, it identifies all items for free and gives you an experience bonus, but he does cost you a bit of gold. Like, every time I kill something or loot something, I'm losing 5% gold because of having that one. And I don't think I need a lot of gold in this challenge run, but I'd rather not run out. And later on, if I'm sure I don't need gold, then I can stop worrying about it. But in the meantime, I'd like to at least give some consideration to it. But yeah, as I said, this is a more relaxed video. I'm just killing a bunch of stuff. I kind of wish this area would respawn infinitely. But I understand why they didn't make it that way. They don't want to give you a place where you can farm infinite experience. Especially not when the enemies are pretty easy, all things considered. And it wouldn't just be infinite experience, but also infinite gold. By the way, while Expert Dagger has the cool effect of allowing you to use the dagger in your opposite hand, Expert other weapon skills pretty much just make it so any points you put in that skill will reduce your recovery time. That's what the bow does. And that's why I'm not too worried about getting any of the other ones. I will probably get Master Sword. Oh. Cool. We're in respawn. I'll probably get Master Sword at some point, so I have the option of using a sword in my offhand instead of a dagger. But the weapon I'm looking at the most is the axe. And the reason I like the axe the most is every skill point you put into it, when it's at, I believe, mastering, increases the damage. And only the axe and I think spear increase damage with skill points. And since I expect to have this skill up to, like, you know, maybe level 15 or to 25, somewhere in that range, before I'm done with the challenge run, I like the idea of converting that into damage, because, you know, plus 15, plus 20, plus 25 damage on every hit, it's pretty good. Man. I honestly didn't expect them to keep respawning for this long. I'm liking it. By the way, you can reach this place normally by walking. You don't have to teleport to it. But teleporting is a lot faster. Okay. Yeah, interestingly, I don't think getting to Expert Dagger would do anything for me with the dagger I have equipped, because all getting to Expert does is let you use the dagger on the offhand. So for the one dagger I have, it won't give it any extra mods. I do, of course, have other daggers, so I'd be able to put a dagger on my offhand. And actually, if that was the last of them, they're done respawning? No, it doesn't look like that was the last one. Okay. There must be an enemy somewhere on the outside. I was looking at the little orb to the upper right hand corner of my character's portrait, and it was yellow at one point. Okay. I'm sure I've missed a few corpses, but I'm not too worried about that right now. Looks like we got all the enemies. And actually, I was going to pause the stream to look up where I can find that dagger, but I don't know that I can pause it. I know I can stop it and restart it, but that'd be a different video. Sure, you're going to be able to just see me looking it up real quick. I'm going to Alt-Tab. Hopefully this doesn't break anything. Expert Dagger at the inn. Okay. Yeah, I want OBS to just stay on the game when I Alt-Tab away, but I'm having issues with this game and another game running when I have transparency enabled, and if I don't have transparency enabled, OBS won't properly record while I Alt-Tab, and I do not have a second monitor at the moment. That is something I'd like to get. So it said it was at the inn. I'm not exactly sure where the inn is, though. That's weapon and armor shop. I think this is the inn? Yeah. So I'm guessing there's a door on the other side?
Greetings and salutations.
Okay, yep. Expert
Okay.
knife. Nice. Now, 2d2, 2d3, but 2d2 plus 2.
Aha.
I'm pretty sure that's the best I've got. Okay, well. Yeah. Now let's see how this does. Let's see how our attack mod goes up to plus 19, and our damage goes from 15 to 19 to 19 to 25. Yep, definitely glad I got that expert dagger. Now, I would kind of like to find another one of these because this is a lot better than that. And if I would have thought about it back in New Sorpigal, I think I had the option to buy 2 and just didn't because I didn't think I needed to. But maybe 2 weren't in stock, I can't recall offhand. But yeah, we'll get another dagger at some point. In the meantime, I'm looking at going and getting another sword from the stone. Sheesh. Like in the first town in New Sorpigal, we were able to pull a sword out of a stone. There's another sword in a stone right here. And this sword is better than that one. By plus 2 it looks like. Okay. It's just an item we'll sell at some point, but might as well grab it because we can. Yeah. I don't even know if we'll get the real sword in the stone, Excalibur, because I know we'll wind up in the area it's in, but I don't know if I'll even bother running over to it. It'll depend on how much trouble the enemies in the area are giving me. Eek. I messed up a little there, and when I jumped, I landed in the water, took a bit of damage that I didn't need to take. Looks like it's starting to get dark though, so we may... Oh, yeah. Down here, this spot, that's where we teleported to, so we could just walk over to it. Oh, haha! Would you look at that? A peasant must have fallen down the hill. I wish I could have seen that. That would have been kind of funny. Anyway. Yep. I don't think there's anything around this edge. Whoa! Well, that was different. I never jumped over water into a loading section before. It looked like I kind of hovered over the water when I was coming back. Huh. Interesting. But yeah. This is what I was talking about with enemies going on the other side of the map. Or on the outside of the map. Yeah, one nice thing about the lizardmen is because they are using regular attacks, just ranged ones, your armor actually does impact their ability to hit you. That's not true for most enemies that use magic, or use magical ranged attacks. In, I think, the very first video, I said I thought that the ranged attacks of the apprentice mages, whatever the really weak mages back in New Sorpigal were, didn't use attack rolls, but that was wrong, and I think I corrected myself in a later video. But yeah, there's, I believe, 2 spells in the game that actually rely on attack rolls to hit. And naturally, they're really bad because of it. About the only nice thing about them is they cost 0 spell points once you get to master level in that whatever school of magic they use. So that's kind of nice because you can just use them in place of a bow. But at that point, why don't you just use a bow? It's not like they're going to be better. I guess if you had a really high rank in that School of Magic, they might be more accurate than bow. Not sure. Alright. I'm not no, we didn't kill all of them. Though with the way they run around, it's hard to track them all down if you don't have Wizard Eye. Okay. Now that may have been the last of them in this area. I'm not sure, but my little indicator is not turning yellow, so that's... Okay, yeah, there's still some more. Oh, I see one. Okay, and here's two more. And dead. Alright, well, it says there's still more, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's starting to get dark, so it's going to be hard to see enemies soon anyway. Yeah, I don't know where they are, but it says they're somewhere around here. Oh, there is a treasure chest over here. Since we got expert level disarm, it should be easy to disarm. And yep. So yeah, right now this is worth 97 gold. When I loot it, I lose 4 of that to my follower, which is kind of unfortunate. Hey, cool. This isn't quite as good as the dagger we were already using, but it's close. Fire resistance, not really worthwhile. You? Okay. Now this is 2d2 plus 2, this is 2d2 plus 3, so it's a straight improvement. Yep, plus 1 attack, plus 1 damage. Sounds good to me. Next up, I think we will, well, I guess we should probably just rest because it's getting dark and it's going to be hard to see much. That indicator turned yellow again, so there's still more enemies around here. If I'm not mistaken, it is Saturday now, and Sunday should be when I can travel to the arena. So let's head over to the inn. I could rest outside, but I don't really feel like it. Oh, actually, there's lots of NPCs. Let's check, see if any of them are good. I can't seem to hover over that one. Piper, Banker. I believe the Banker was one I like. Though it might be a merchant one. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm going to have to beg them. My reputation is negative 156. Wow, I don't think I had ever heard that sound he made when he begged. That was kind of funny. Yeah, 20% bonus on all gold found, and they take 10%. So it's effectively 10% bonus on all gold found. It doesn't quite work out that way because the bonuses are multiplicative instead of additive, I believe. But it's close enough. So yeah, with the other NPC taking 10 or 5% of my gold, I should be coming out roughly 5% ahead. I could be looking for like an instructor who would increase my experience gains instead, but I'm not too worried about how much experience I'll gain. Man, 32 gold for one night? Nah. Okay. Right now, because I have expert learning, I believe that is, what is it, 17%? Rank 1 of learning is 9, no, I'm sorry, learning, if you have it, is 9% plus 1% per point of skill, with expert doubling, master tripling. So 4 doubled is 8, plus 9 is 17. So yeah, right now, this expert learning is giving me 17, this scholar is giving me 5, so I'm getting a 22% bonus on experience right now. I'm not too worried about adding a bit more with an instructor.
Need a ride?
And yeah, I can go to the arena. This should be interesting.
Hitch up the horses.
The arena is kind of cool.
Where are we?
But it's also kind of weird.
Hey, you!
I guess those aren't mutually exclusive. So basically how it works is when you go to the arena, you can go once a week on Sundays from that stable or coach. I still need to find a name to call it because it's not just a stable. Because a stable isn't where you rent out horses to travel. But anyway, you come here, you pick one of 4 difficulty levels. Depending on the difficulty level you select, you'll fight different enemies. You beat all the enemies, you come back here, and you get a reward. Now both the difficulty and reward are based partially on the which one of these you pick, but it's also partially based on your level. So as your level goes up, you'll fight harder enemies and you'll get a larger reward. Well, the problem is your level may scale up differently than your character's actual power. So the difference in enemy strength from, say, level 1 to level 10 may not correspond with how much stronger your character got when he went from level 1 to level 10. That's especially true if you're only using a single character like I am now, like this knight. So I am not going to fight a Lord difficulty because I know I'd get waxed. I am going to try the knight difficulty, see if that works. If not, go to the squire. Now, it would have been kind of cool to come here before training when I was still level 1. Because at level 1, I think you can take on Lord difficulty just because your items will carry you. Okay. So let's see what we're up against. Ogre Raider, Thief, Witch Doctor, Master Archer, Fire Beast, Dust Devil. Okay. One nice thing about the arena is it is large enough that enemies can actually be outside of your threat range. Wow. Where they'll be so far away they won't even attempt to attack you or move closer to you. But yeah, I'm guessing that we just can't win on this difficulty level.
Hitch up the horses.
So let's come over here instead.
Where are we?
And try Squire difficulty. Burglar. You may notice there's fewer enemies. That's one effect of, or that's one thing about the difficulty level. It affects how many enemies there are. Oh, peasant. Huh. This is kind of funny. I was actually talking to a person on YouTube about this very issue. There are 3 tiers of each type of enemy. That includes peasants. And I was wondering what the 3rd type of peasant was, because normally you only see a male and female peasant, nothing else. It's a little disappointing that these guys are going to be this easy, because I think it should be pretty much a joke for me to beat them. Though, I guess dwarfs aren't completely trivial. Yeah, that's a harpy. The higher tiers of harpies can actually be kind of scary, but the lowest tier, this one, is not frightening at all. Yeah. Currently hitting for over 20 damage with my attacks. That feels really good. Just a few videos ago, I was hitting for like 12-ish. But yeah, when I was talking to the guy on YouTube, I believe his name is Aetherspoon, I hope I pronounced that right. He told me the arena was one of the places you could see that sprite, or that 3rd type of peasant, and lo and behold, very first time I try coming in here, I see it. Well, I guess technically it's the 2nd since I had to reload from that one difficulty level being too high. Yeah, I would have liked to kill those other guys, but you saw how much I was struggling against just one Ogre Chieftain. I believe the Ogre Chieftain is the highest tier of the Ogre types, though, so that would explain why. We'll fight plenty of them later on. Okay. Yeah. Their corpses don't have anything, so looting them doesn't help. But I got a, what? 1,000 gold, yeah. It says I found 1,200, but that's because the one gave me 20% more. My followers took 180. So yeah, looks like I'm getting a 2% bonus, not a 5% bonus, because of how the math works out when you multiply 95 and 120 instead of adding... Oh, I'm sorry, 980... Oh god, no. 120 by 90 by 95 instead of adding 120 and subtracting... You get what I'm trying to say. Doing math in my head while gaming is not something I'm good at. Anyway. That was a fun little diversion. And I think I would like to go to Freehaven next, partially because Freehaven has some good shops, and I might actually do one of the dungeons there, at least in part. But also because Freehaven has a teacher for the Expert Merchant ability. So for now, let's work on heading over there. To get to Freehaven, we're going to take advantage of a little quirk in this game. And I honestly don't know if it's a bug or if it was intentional. But we're going to walk to a zone that isn't obviously accessible from where we are right now. And let me... Yeah, these items are not really good, so I could probably just leave them behind, but I feel weird doing that. Okay. Oh, no room. Yeah, we saw how bad I am at this at the end of, I think it was my second video. So I'm not going to spend too much time rearranging stuff. Right. Okay. I'm actually going to dump these daggers. Just because they're worth all of 8 gold. And after the penalty for selling items is taken into account, I'd probably get like 4 or 5 gold from them at best. Anyway. And clubs are only worth 1 gold no matter what, so sure. And we might wind up dumping more of those items as we go. It'll depend on what loot we get before we head back to town. So anyway, in terms of walking, you can walk from one map to another if the maps share a border. To see what I mean, this map to the, it's either south or east, I can't remember which, goes to New Sorpagal. So if you're coming from New Sorpagal, you would come along, or come here from one of these edges. I think it's the east. Bootleg Bay is to the north, so after I killed those lizardmen, I could have gone north to Bootleg Bay. To the west is the Mire of the Damned, a place a lot of people hate. And to the northwest is Freehaven. Well, of course, we don't actually share a border with the northwest. We do, however, share a corner. And it is possible to walk through that corner to Freehaven. And that's what we're going to do. I don't know if the developers intended for that to be possible or not. But since it is, we will be taking advantage of it. I believe this right here is a shrine. I don't remember what shrine is in in the Iron Fist region. Might be like electricity resistance. I'm guessing there, but I think that might be right. Yeah, pray at the shrine, it's the wrong month. Yep, Shrine of Electricity. There are a lot more enemies in this Castle Iron Fist area that we won't be finishing off yet. We'll come back here before too long because there's a couple dungeons I want to clear out. Whoa. There you are. Okay. I hear them shooting, but I don't see them shooting. Wow, 3 misses in a row against a follower mob. That's not a likely occurrence. Yeah. We're gonna keep walking. I'm not gonna clear out every enemy. Just because there's a lot and I don't really feel like hunting them down. Another interesting thing about Freehaven is normally you would travel between locations via the stables or coachman, whatever we're calling those things. However, there's an interesting quirk with Freehaven where you can't travel to Freehaven through the stables unless you've already been to the zone by foot. So you actually have to travel by foot there before you can travel by horse. Now I can't remember how many zones there are like that in the game. Ow. I might actually have to heal before I can get to Freehaven. That's not what I was hoping for. Yeah, this is where I wish I had some sort of regeneration or other healing effect. There is a dagger we'll be getting later on, which can heal when based on the amount of damage I deal to guys. It's one of the most important items in this run. You can get you can get a modification on any item. Well, actually I don't know if it can spawn on ranged weapons. But on any melee weapon, it can randomly roll Vampiric as a modifier. But you obviously have to get lucky to hit that as what you spawn. Okay. Whoa, that one was close. I don't know how much hit points I have. My health bar looks really low, but it can be hard to tell just what that means once you start getting over 100 HP. Okay. Oh, yeah, I still had 15 HP left. That wasn't too bad. I thought it was closer than it actually was. Well, it is worth more than the dagger is, though not by much. Alright. Now, what I'm curious about is if we can finish leaving here without healing. If so, that'd be cool. If not, then I'll have to... Well, I won't. If not, I'll probably heal at that inn that's right over there. I don't know if you noticed the signage, but that structure straight ahead is actually an inn that we can rest at. Whoa, okay. Yeah, I think we're going to need to heal up. Oh. That apparently was the wrong door. Huh. I wonder why this room is so much cheaper than the room in town. I guess there's a premium and space to sleep in a town, but on the other hand, it's not like you really have any other options when you're outside. So I would think they could charge a lot extra just because there's no competition. But I guess maybe they fear people sleep outside or push on to town if the prices are too high. Alright. Yeah, I don't see any more guys right now. I hear them. Yeah, see, that's to Bootleg Bay. Where are these guys at? I guess they're on the other side of this hill. Yeah. So we want to go this way.
Quickly,
whenever you leave an enter and exit a dungeon like that, all the enemy locations will reset. So will their HP if you left any injured but alive. But that had the benefit of making everything go back to their starting spots, so they'd be easier to find. Plus that will, as I mentioned in another video, okay, we're about at the corner. Mire the Damned, Mire the Damned. Bootleg Bay, Bootleg Bay, Bootleg Bay, Bootleg Bay. Mire, 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 Bootleg Bay. See? Free Haven. And I'm going to travel there, and I think I'm actually going to stop the video here. It's a bit shorter than my previous videos, but I think it's a good breaking point. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll hopefully get another video posted up in the next day or two. Until then, I'll see you when I see you.